Dude, the second episode of Embedded this week. This man's driving go-karts. Do you know the quote that I'm about to say?
No, I don't.
I was raised on Mario Kart and Tupac. Holy shit, could you speak to my fucking generation anymore, Max Holloway? Mario Kart 6, I assume you're talking 64. You ain't talking 1993. You were born in 91. Max Holloway doesn't know shit about the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This is an N64 kid. He's talking Mario Kart 64 and Tupac Shakur. This is the millennial champion. So if this is the night it happens, so be it, and frankly, it could.
What up, everybody? It's Pulver, and welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast, episode 35.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here with Chris Madaffer, as always. How goes it, bruh?
Good, man. Have a good day, doing absolutely nothing but listen to podcasts. Pretty productive on that part.
Sweet. Well, it has been a weird week for podcasts. If you guys have not listened to the show previously, what we do, we talk about all of the MMA podcasts that we recommend. We reformatted this first segment, so we talk about a show you should catch, an MMA podcast you should skip, and an MMA podcast you can't miss that happened this week. And to lead off the show, why don't we discuss the intro clip? Holy shit, Jordan Breen nailing Max Holloway with the Mario Kart and Tupac quote.
Yeah, for any of the listeners out there that watched the UFC Embeddeds before some of the large fight nights or all of the pay-per-views, it was episode 2 of the 212 Embedded where Max Holloway said, I was born and raised on Mario Kart and listening to Tupac.
Yep.
That's what you can hear, and
Jordan Breen's real into it. It speaks to his generation, which being, 2 years younger than Max Holloway? I feel you.
Yeah.
So, pretty far, 2 years older.
Older, yeah, you're older. I'm the same age as Holloway. Yeah.
There you go. So you know exactly what he's talking about, Mario Kart 64. But that is super fucking funny, and I thought it was a great clip from their Sherdog Radio Roundtable. They actually recorded that right before, that's the show they put out before the fights. And Jordan was talking about it, and subtly said, yo, Max Holloway, he just straight up referenced Max Holloway, millennial champion, and then he was like, it could happen tonight. I was like, well, motherfucker, you kind of said it was going to happen, and then it kind of happened.
Yep.
But why don't we jump into format? So like I mentioned, we have 3 different parts to this first segment, and why don't we first get into the MMA shows that we recommend people check out this week?
And this is like the regular one, right? Not
the one that we recommend people catch.
Let's see. Technically I had 2 of them, but
use both. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right, so
we've already said before this segment is very loose.
So, the first one is quick. It was Submission Radio. I think it was about 5 days ago.
I missed that one.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was on. Caught up with Submission Radio. The guys Casper and what's the other guy's name? Matt something. Anyways, Wonderboy was talking about he was in Brazil recently with Chris Weidman, and then Wonderboy's brother Tony. They were doing a sports science show in Brazil, and Wonderboy was doing the striking aspect, Weidman was doing the grappling, and Wonderboy competed against a world-class CrossFit guy, and he said he actually did really well compared to this world-class CrossFit guy. So, yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He said when they were in Brazil, Chris Weidman got ransacked with shitloads of photos from Brazilian fans everywhere. Apparently they love him in Brazil. Probably because he killed one of their legends, but, he
was also always very respectful and shit, too. He never really shit on Anderson or anything.
That's true, yeah. There was that. Wonderboy says he's currently rehabbing his injured knee and back to training. He said it's his 4th surgery he's had on a knee, apparently. Which,
not a good sign.
That's not a good sign. He says, I'm good, though, because only orthoscopic surgery, but still, it's not safe.
not recommended.
Yeah, I hope for our sakes that his knees are okay, because I'd love to see him letting his hands loose and fucking feet and all that. He said he attended the UFC retreat for the 4th year in a row. He firsthand saw Cyborg tell Weidman back the fuck off when he tried to restrain her from Angela Magana. He said Cyborg basically clocked her with, I think, a pretty gnarly right hook.
The left hook, I think.
It was a hook, yeah. So I think
it was a left hook.
Yeah, but either
it's hard
way,
to tell. It's in front.
He's like Magana was about to just collapse. Yeah. Right? So it could have been tried to press charges, blah blah blah.
Actually, I think you're right. I think it was a right.
They asked Wonder Boy, who would you like to fight next? He says he either wants Masvidal or Lawler in September. So barring I
wonder if Masvidal would even take that fight. I bet he would.
No, he tweeted. He tweeted last week. I want Wonder Boy next.
That'd be a good fight, dude. That'd be
because he's like Wonder Boy. You're the number 2. He's I want to stand in top.
He bucks him up on the feet. Is that controversial? I think Masvidal crowds him and
it depends on. I think on the spacing too for Wonder Boy if you can utilize those distance kicks like he did. But either way, it'd probably be honestly them exchanging hands pretty frequently because 2 strikers.
True. So. I like Masvidal in that matchup, which I don't think a lot of people will. Plus, Masvidal has a huge grappling advantage in that.
Yeah. The other good one that I listened to, let me find it. Okay, it was. Yeah, I didn't really organize. It was MMA Hour this weekend.
Yep.
Jimmy, the All-American Brit Manowax. Remember last week, guys, I blew Chris's mind. He had no idea that Jimmy Manowax was actually American.
I forgot and it is very upsetting.
So I'm calling him All-American Brit from now on, not whatever the fuck he's called, Poster Boy or Heart of a Lion, bro.
Jimmy the Poser Boy, man.
One punch, bro. Heart of a Lion. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Heart of the Lion's Den, more like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'd rather call Diego Nightmare Sanchez his nickname Lionheart, whatever the fuck he's called.
That's right.
Either way, Jimmy All-American Brit Manoa had to say Dana told him, you get a title shot if he knocks out Volkan Ozdemir at 214. However, I would not believe Dana's lies at this point.
Yeah, no, Dana doesn't make decisions anymore, as we should all know by now.
Jimmy doesn't know why DC is criticizing him for minding if Gus gets a shot first. He elaborated, saying DC should shut his mouth. He's trying to... I don't know.
They keep going back and forth a lot.
Yeah. Either way, they asked him again, so say Gus becomes champ, will you fight him? He says they will never fight each other ever because they're just too close. I get that.
I respect that.
They don't need to. They're basically like brothers, he said at this point, because they've known each other for years and years and years.
Yeah. And also Jimmy's from that side of the world
and he says if Gus wins the title, he says then I'll just focus on fighting David Haye in boxing match. It's like, all right, dude.
David Haye wants that fight, to be fair.
But yeah, he says David it's ready.
Keeps asking for it. Yeah. That's going to happen way before the Conor fight.
It will. Oh, no. That's really because they're both British, too.
I should say the band fight.
Yeah, the band fight. Then he talked about when he was at Buffalo, John Jones is very courteous to introduce himself to Jimmy. He said he was actually surprised by that, but he respects John Jones. Says thinks DC's only one-dimensional and just has wrestling, and says he would knock DC out. Sure. I mean, DC only survived like 2 Rumble bombs before, so there's that. He's been impressed with Volkan Ozdemir. That's basically what he was just kind of going over. After that, the other person... I skipped Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., he was on, but he immediately started talking about McGregor and Mayweather, so I'm like, nope, I'm out. So skip that. Instead, I listened to Frankie Edgar, which is always a good... Listen,
much better. He even calls out Ali Abdelaziz at one point.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he's like, my manager, I need to pay him, but he's got to promote me first.
Yeah, I think Ariel first called him out. He's like, your manager needs to step his game up and get on top of this already. Yeah. He's like, yeah, what the fuck, Ali? He's like, I bet you Ali's texting me right now yelling at about this.
Yep. He said he thought Marlon Moraes beat a Sunsao. Did you see that fight? I caught part of it. I caught rounds 2 and 3. I definitely thought split 2 and 3.
Yeah,
I thought
Sunsao took
like the second one.
Yeah, I had it him 29-28. I feel like Moraes took the what round was it? Third round?
Third round, yeah. That's why I thought he won. So yeah, I did 29-28 too, Sunsao.
Yeah, fucking Octagon jitters are a real fucking thing. And it absolutely showed in that fight. It feels like Marlon Moraes kind of just
a little too tentative, kind of just wasn't committing to...
Well, he was committing to stuff, but he was also just, not sticking to it. It felt like... It didn't feel like the regular Marlon Moraes we see.
Yeah.
Although Rafael Sunsao does that to dudes, so...
Yeah.
Big credit to him.
Yeah, good props to Sunsao for just showing why he's still, I think, the number 2 or 3 ranked. Good on him.
Tough motherfucker.
Frankie truly believes his next fight is Max Holloway. Nothing is set in stone yet or even mentioned. He's glad Max won because Frankie said he would kind of been unsure of his future at 145, even though it's his most comfortable weight. He says he wouldn't know realistically how long he'd have to wait for a good fight. Yep. He says he probably would drop to 135, but then again, like he said, the only way he drops to 135 is he gets a title shot right off the bat.
And that title picture is so fucked right now.
Yeah, I don't even think they give that to him either because there's so many deserving well, not so many deserving, but there's a number of bantamweights that can get title shots. Yeah. So, he says next fight, he says it has to be either MSG or in Hawaii. He says I think he would prefer Hawaii if it's available because he wants to do that whole thing where Max was like, oh, King's going to other King's kingdoms and take over, and Base Springs, I'm right here, homie. You know, straight up.
They'll never do Hawaii though. Yeah. State taxes are way too high. And it's only outdoor stadiums.
That's right, yeah.
And unless you want King of the Cage, and it rains almost every day in Hawaii. So unless you want fucking King of the Cage, Wet and Wild 7 all over the UFC, then it's probably not going to happen, unfortunately, in Hawaii. Although I wanted to, for fuck's sake. I really wanted to, and it would sell the fuck out. You see the homecoming they gave Yancey and him?
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking insane.
Like over thousands of people.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So, that's it for my good ones and the skip. Did you want to get your skip or?
Yeah. Oh, wait, you already did your skip?
Oh, wait, did I say skip?
No, you didn't do your skip. You did your two good ones, right?
My bad. I confused myself.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get to some of the ones I recommend people catch. Let's see. I had for the podcast you should catch. I actually had UFC Unfiltered.
Nice.
I wasn't going to have it until the second half of it. Let's see. There was... they had on Brian Kelleher, who fought this weekend.
Yep.
To talk about his win in Brazil. And Sarah talked... they went over just how crazy, like, he was taunting the fans and shit. He said he got a beer thrown at him while he was heading backstage. Like, just missed his head. Like, he was like, shit's getting real. But evidently, he's a buddy of Aljamain Sterling's, who was in studio, I believe it was this episode that Aljo was in the studio for the episode before this, where Aljo was talking him up. And so Matt referenced that, like, oh, your buddy's with Aljo, and he says you're a beast, and da-da-da. He's like, yeah, man, I got a good squeeze on my guillotine. And he showed that with that fucking nasty arm and finish. Matt Serra talked briefly about the War Machine thing.
Yeah.
Because Matt Serra was the coach for the season of Tough he was on.
That's right, yeah. He coached War Machine. He thought War Machine was a pretty decent guy.
He likes, like, he said the War Machine I knew, like, was always cool, but that dude...
Still doesn't excuse for what he did,
not the same War Machine, clearly. And then Max calls in. New champ, Max Holloway, calls in to talk to him. And Matt Serra gets all excited. He talks about how tough Aldo is and how bad he was ground and pounding him. He was like, it felt like forever.
He's like the whole 2 minutes I figured out. And I remember he was saying that he actually mentioned to Big John, he's like, hey, you gonna stop the fight? And then later between that round, Big John's like, yeah, no, don't do that to me. Ever again.
Yeah, he's like, he's not doing anything. What the fuck, John? And they also talk about how his camp focused a lot on the ground and pounding instead of the sub, which was it's smart, dude. That dude's camp is really underrated. If you listen to some of their corner audio and stuff from some of his early fights, even they're really on top of their shit.
I remember too. He mentioned during that fight. Remember when he went for that rear naked and then he's like fuck it and gave up on it and went back to the ground and pound.
Yep.
He was saying that's because he heard his coach go fire now, don't submit, because he was saying Aldo likes to play possum.
Yeah, he kept saying damage. I think it was.
Yeah, damage, calling for damage, exactly. Yeah, and he's like saying it's true. Josie Aldo will play possum, and if he did go for the RNC, I mean Aldo was defending it well enough anyway, even when he was Dave. So it is smart that he reverted to the ground and pound, 100%.
For sure. Max also had some other stuff he talked about, which was pretty cool. He talked a lot about how he focuses so much on cardio. And then he just made a bunch of great references in a row. He made a reference to Will Smith talking about how he likes to do cardio. And he's like, if I see a motherfucker get on a treadmill next to me, I don't stop running. He's like, Will Smith said that shit once. He also made a bunch of references to memes about Lion Eye. Like the fucking, and then one of his examples was, that Lion King meme, and then it says, that dark place over there, we don't go there, that's Lion Eye. Shit like that. Just, again, Max Holloway being fucking millennial generation champ like a motherfucker, and just generally being the dopest motherfucker. I just thought it was a great episode just because Max was super personable on it. And he's always a good dude. I mean, the whole time he's talking about his grandparents and, like, his kid and, like, just a super good guy. And also, he's drinking with DJ on the beach in Yancey Madero currently. So shouts out to them. That'll actually be one of our clips this week. Is DJ's Instagram post.
They probably just hit him up too. I bet you Max was like, "Hey, brother, what's up?"
So DJ was going on vacation anyway.
Oh, he was.
And then I bet you he was like, "Yo, you know what? We're in Hawaii because I want to go see Max's fight anyway." Because they're buddies through Twitch. Because they've played a bunch of games together.
Yeah, I remember Max, I think before his fight about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he mentioned his #1 game right now is Rainbow Six Siege. I can see
he loves that shit. He plays.
To be fair, that game looks tight. I've never played it, but the reason I didn't play it is because I heard you need like 3 real people to actually. Well, yeah, you need like a real squad.
Yeah, that you have to play with public.
Fuck that. And that would never work out.
Yeah. No, definitely
people
not.
People be team killing.
Although if you subscribe to Rampage Jackson or Max Holloway channel, they play with subs a lot.
Oh shit.
So you can play with them. Same with I don't think DJ plays that anymore. I think he mostly plays PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds nowadays.
Oh, is that one like a third-person shooter, but it's like FPS elements?
It's real janky.
Is
as
it like
fuck.
a Rust, but like with guns or more guns, or
it's like
military style?
Yeah, it's like DayZ, but like if with the what's the name of that Korean movie? Where all the kids are killing, or maybe it's Japanese. Where all the kids are killing each other. Battle Royale.
Yeah.
It's called Battlegrounds. Battle Royale. Yeah. It literally is. You get dropped out of a plane, and everyone there's a circles that close in. It's literally Battle Royale. But DJ loves that shit. So does Jessamine Duke, who also plays that. So. Shouts out to them because that shit is hilarious. But that's the podcast I recommended this week. Chris, why don't we get to your podcast you recommend skipping?
Skipping for me this week is going to be the co-main event. I did like the Master Tweet Theater, and I did like their discussion about Aldo's legacy still being okay, even though they were just basically talking about how McGregor and Holloway weren't around for his heyday. Mm-hmm. Not saying that they could have beat him then, but possibly, who knows. But either way, I dug just the beginning part, but it just kind of like they talked about Randamine basically saying, oh, the fact that she wants to get rid of her belt, there's going to be a huge stigma that follows her. If she drops to 135, she'll just be a bantamweight again. What if DC said, oh, John Jones, you're not worthy, fuck my belt, I'm going up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that part, but the second part was annoying. It was just, I know they were talking about Black Beast and Mark Hunt, but other than that, they just kind of kept going off topic, and
my recording software doing that. Okay, we're back to normal. But yeah, overall it was nothing stood out to me really in that episode. I could see that. Although if you've not checked out their podcast, it's not like an abhorrent one or anything. It's not like fucking Nia Rodriguez was on it or anything.
No, those guys are always consistently solid.
Yeah, it's never like that bad. And like I would say with this one, even not that bad, but like I could see how you like. It's not something you need to catch at all. Let's see. I recommended. You know what? I'm gonna change mine on the fly. I was gonna recommend skipping the 5 Rounds podcast where Brett Okamoto basically just sucks the UFC's dick the entire time about the TJ DJ thing, which he is from ESPN, and
Similar surprise.
It was kind of meh. But instead, I am going to recommend skipping the Believe You Me podcast from this week. Not because of Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping was great as always. Just
Luis,
being Michael Bisping. Fucking Luis Gomez is driving me goddamn nuts. He's just driving me nuts. The last
time I listened to it, he was kind of annoying too.
Oh man, actually I have 2 skips this week, but we'll get to that one in a second. Believe You Me, so Bisping had a great breakdown at 212, the main event. Luis, who does a fucking podcast with the middleweight champ, only saw the 3rd round of the Holloway and Aldo fight.
How do you fuck that up?
I literally wrote the fuck.
This wrote to, you know how I saw that fight? I was at a reunion for my dad when he's a city councilman for 8 years in San Diego. His staff, right? Mm-hmm. That was cool. We all got fucking drunk what they did. And then I was on the flight, hey dad, by the way, there's a really important fight. Can you just buy it? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I got to watch a goddamn fight. So fuck you, Luis Gomez.
That's right.
Yeah.
Luis also missed the Vitor fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to see that. The 2 old people fighting.
Yeah. So. And the one fight he did see, he had nothing to say about, which was which was Carolina and Claudia.
Wait, he literally said, no comment on this fight?
He just never talked about it.
I want a dick.
Let's see. Bisping, actually, Bisping did say some crazy shit in this episode. He said that...
Let me guess, he's going to fight the winner over Romero and Whitaker because clearly he would hope for that Whitaker fucking wins so he doesn't have to fight Romero, right? And so he doesn't sound like more of a pussy?
Even crazier, he said he wants, after his next title defense, he wants one more title defense and then he's going to retire.
I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, that'd be a cool plan. If it works out for him, good for him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, though, because if he gets 3 fights in and it's a year from now, I don't see Michael Bisping, especially if he wins again and there's somebody that he thinks he can beat lined up.
Yeah, no.
I don't see him going anywhere.
I don't see him actually winning any more fights, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. And he also said he wants his retirement fight to be in the UK, which, understandable, man.
They'll probably arrange that, yeah.
Now Luis starts saying that it's good that Max won the belt, despite saying that they should abolish the 145 division the week before.
Wait. Why did he say that? Did he mean flyweight?
Nope. He meant
flyweight.
This was before the flyweight stuff came out.
Oh, that is true.
He says they should abandon it. They should abolish it until Conor fights.
Oh God, what a Conor fucking fanboy. Yeah. God damn it.
It's pretty bad. Also, he said that he thinks Chuck Liddell was the first brawler. Which I guess means that he never saw Maurice Smith or Tank Abbott fight.
Even fucking like Carlos Newton.
Just a lot of dumb shit coming out of Luis's mouth, and it does not help that the week before this he was talking about
how... he's the male Naya.
Well, yeah, actually, yes, absolutely he is. Except he's a comedian, so he should know better. Also, it should be noted that last week Luis spent a good 5 to 10 minutes talking about fidget spinners and how they calm him down.
They calm him down?
Yeah.
He's a man-child.
He's a giant baby. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He also he has a little bit of a Don Barris look going. And
that's not good.
No, it's not great. Hold on, we're going to pause here because my fucking recording program is being really weird. Alright, and actually, you know what? I'm going to skip ironically enough, I'm going to skip my second skip pick, and we'll actually talk about it at the end. I don't want to give this idiot any more attention than normal, because god damn it, do I hate a certain fucking judge out of the East Coast. But why don't we go ahead and get into...
The can't miss?
Yeah, I was just going to say, why don't you jump into your can't miss episode for the week?
For me, it's Sean Funky and the Baddest Man, because I haven't listened to them in the longest time. I enjoyed this one. From what I remember, they broke it down into certain areas of where they went over the 212. Joe says he doesn't think Max Holloway has superstar potential. Ben disagreed and said at the moment he's not a superstar now, but since he has a good firm grasp hold on the division, he could clearly blossom into that, especially if they eventually go to Hawaii, that kind of thing.
And anyone who's actually heard that dude talk a lot, like, he's super personable. That dude is a quote machine.
Oh, yeah.
And he's very authentic Hawaiian in like a BJ Penn kind of good quote kind of way. Exactly. It's real good. Except like a millennial BJ Penn.
Yeah, that too. About the Vitor versus Nate, I can't remember. Did they mention who they thought won? I think they said Nate, right?
Ben refused to watch it because they're both so juiced for so long.
Yo, he did say that, yeah.
And Joe Warren thought that Nate for sure won.
Yeah,
but I believe Joe Warren has trained in the same place as Nate for a number of times.
By the way, who did you think won that?
Nate for sure.
Nate for me too. So everyone who's listening, Nate won that fight. But whatever. They said too, Vitor won because of Brazil. He still has power, but is afraid to throw down. Well, I don't know if he's afraid. He just doesn't throw down early, probably because of cardio issues.
Yeah, although he did throw some big bombs.
He did. Oh yeah, he caught Nate against the fence a couple times, like an uppercut and an overhand.
Yeah.
What I did enjoy hearing is that in boxing right now, the WBC is experimenting with noise-canceling headphones for judges, so they aren't influenced by crowd noise. That is really interesting. I've never heard of that, and I think it's a fucking cool idea.
I think it's really smart. Rogan's been saying stuff like this for a long time, saying judges should actually be in a fucking room with a screen and just judging from there.
Yeah, just fucking analyzing everything. You've goddamn notebook down everything. They don't hear shit. Because Brazil is a place where the crowd can influence. I mean, certain parts of the United States. But yeah, Mexico, obviously, especially in boxing. Are you fucking kidding me? You know,
or New York or like certain areas. Yeah. Also, speaking of stuff they said about 212, they did talk about why, I guess think Ben asked, like, why do you guys think Aldo threw no leg kicks?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think the two options Ben gave were either it was because of the motorcycle accident that Aldo had and he fucked up his foot, or USADA only affected his right leg.
That's funny.
It's like very Ben Askren kind of reference. And then Joe Warren went with the second one. So, fuck it, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that was kind of puzzling that Aldo didn't go with any leg kicks. I think that could actually really dramatically alter the outcome of the fight.
Max actually addressed it a bit on Unfiltered, where he said, I threw one leg, or Aldo threw one leg kick, and he countered it what he thought wasn't that hard, but evidently it was pretty hard because Holloway stopped throwing any of them after that shit. And when you go back and watch it, I kind of agree with him.
That I know they mentioned Ronda Rousey is definitely finished with fighting now that she's signed on to the series regular on a network series television. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but I don't really.
It's Battle of the TV Star, Battle of the Network Stars, I believe.
Oh,
it's like an old '70s fucking bullshit thing that they used to weird women's gymnastics.
I'll say this: I didn't care then, and I don't care now.
Understandably.
And Rousey, yeah, she's toast. I don't see her coming back. Do I want her to come back? Yeah, but not with Edmund.
True. I don't want her to come back if she's still at that camp.
Yeah, no. If someone told me tomorrow she signed with how
about King's MMA where
if she signed independently there, or say fuck it, Henry Hooft is my striking coach now, then yeah, I'd be stoked. Fuck yeah, something like that. Either fucking even Bang Ludwig.
I don't see her and Henry Hoof getting along at all. I see Henry Hoof leg kicking her.
What about Bang Ludwig? I think Bang Ludwig seems kind enough to deal with her shit. Maybe not though.
I don't think so. I don't think he has the patience for her bullshit.
Fuck you then. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
He'd be a good coach for her, but
he'd be great. But I just don't think she wants to listen to Bang Ludwig.
Yeah, he'd probably patronize her too
Matt
much.
Hume would be the best, but never gonna happen. He would be like, get the fuck out.
They're talking about Russian heavyweight Menkanov. I can't remember what organization.
Vitaly Minikov used to be the heavyweight champion for Bellator, but then he was like, "Fuck you! I get paid more in Russia. Sue me."
Was he the guy they were talking about? They think could take on a lot of the UFC's heavyweights, right? Talking about his chances of coming to the UFC because I think he's currently with a Russian organization right now.
Something like that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point, depending on what happens with that division.
Who the fuck knows, man?
Because at this point, me and you discussed it. Some people want to see Kane get a title shot based on his health issues. There's no fucking way. I think they're gonna put him against Ngannou because they want to do that.
I don't think they want to knock off Ngannou's potential like that. He'll kill Ngannou.
Really? Yeah, I agree.
Even a broken Kane will kill Ngannou.
Then they'll probably wait for Lewis Hunt winner to fight Ngannou, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if Lewis wins. He loves that black on black crime, so
true.
As he says,
America does love that black on black crime.
What's that? They said tag team in the UFC. Ben said he would choose Tyron Woodley, obviously, as his teammate.
That would be such a beast team.
Joe mentioned some people from Bellator, but then he said Faber. Uriah Faber would be a good teammate too. The old men tag team, as he called it.
Yeah. Oh, also he has talked previously about how he wants to be in a tag team with Brock Lesnar and just ride on Brock's shoulders and jump off of him and fuck people up.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That would be
him
great.
And Brock are buddies, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, no, I don't get that either.
It's my favorite friendship in all of MMA.
Then Sean Wheelock was talking about being in Russia and how the Russians hate Ben. And then I ended it there.
Yep, sounds about right. Yeah, that was a good episode. I really enjoyed the whole thing. Let's see, my must-listen this week is the Pound for Pound podcast, 122, Sam Alvey's podcast. So Sam Alvey had Joseph Benavidez, Joe Daddy Stevenson. What am I talking about?
Joe Beavenson.
Yeah, Joe Beavenson on. No, he had Joe Daddy Stevenson on. They talk a lot about pro wrestling at the top, which was kind of funny. There was a bunch of good Iron Sheik references and
that guy's hilarious.
Some real bad Hulk Hogan impressions, brother. Let's see. They also discuss having 4 kids since Joe has 4 kids and Sam is now adopting a 4th child from Africa.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he went on a drive. He said he went on a drive and decided he talked himself into adopting an African baby. So they're working on that. Let's see. It's hilarious that, let me see. Joe says so Joe Daddy was talking about how at his house, how you get control of the TV is you have to get the takedown for it because he has 4 boys. And he says, it says something about your 9-year-old when the 9-year-old gets to fucking choose the TV. He's like, to be fair to him, 2 of his brothers were out of the house, and the 11-year-old was just not aware. But he still got the takedown, so he got to pick what's on.
That's fucking great.
Pretty funny. It sounded like it was recorded the week before 212 because they did some 212 predictions.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then Sam Alvey tells a fucking amazing story, which is going to be our next clip, about the time he fought in Russia at a circus. So
how did that go?
You'll hear in the clip. It's fucking
Jesus.
It's a crazy story. It's one of these stories that you're like, it just escalates with every like half a sentence. Sam Alvey starts out like, oh yeah, this one time I was in Russia, and I fought, which is already like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Fucking going over to Russia and fighting early in your career.
I feel like,
he's like, it was my first pro.
I feel like it'd be an accomplishment just walking on the streets of Russia.
Yeah, well, he's like, oh, it was my first pro fight. I was like, oh, that's even crazier, first pro fight in Russia. He's like, it was at a circus. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Fucking. Yeah, okay, like, everyone already doesn't like clowns, but Russian clowns would be upping that shit up to 11.
Right,
so
he's like, the mat was like one of those puzzle piece mats that you put down.
Oh, God.
Like, and it just keeps going.
Oh, God.
We'll hear the clip and we'll react to it after, but
wow.
It's a fucking hell of a clip. And so that's my recommendation for this week. I thought it was a great episode, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Let's see, is there any other shows that you wanted to give a quick shout out to that you heard?
No, that was it for me, man.
Cool. The only other ones I wanted to mention briefly, let's see, mention that. TJ Santos is back with Sherdog finally, because he was out on hiatus due to head injury from a car accident and like his kid having issues.
Oh,
and,
dude,
like,
I remember that. I think I heard
stuff.
that last week in Whiplash or something.
Yeah. So he did that, and then there was a good beatdown this Monday with Mike Fridley. Knuckle Up had a good episode, which is Eugene Robinson, and talking about. Oh, he did mention that he heard Nate Marquardt was offered $20,000 to not take Vitor to the ground.
Huh.
Which is like, I don't know. Was it true? I don't know. I did hear it. And he's like friends with people who would maybe know that kind of shit.
Well, clearly he didn't take that offer because he did that big takedown in the second round.
Yeah, he also made some.
Which is why he won the fight too.
Yeah, he also made some interesting points about how like peaks in careers work and how to like accept which side of the peak you're on. It's just kind of a cool. He's like an old 50-year-old dude who's been around forever, and he's wise beyond his time, even though he's a fucking weirdo. Heavy Hands had a good episode. Connor discussed his sweet boys, Aldo and Holloway, as he described them. Because Connor's a fucking weirdo, and it cracks me up so much. He's also very excited about Dan Kelly versus Walsh, which they talked about on the MMA Depressed test, and Weidman like lost his shit talking about how terrible it was. I believe the quote was, "It looks like they're two guys tied to the end of shopping carts running into each other."
Wait, was Kelly the guy that beat Rashad a couple weeks ago? The old man Kelly? Oh,
yeah, that guy.
Okay, now I clearly see why they said that.
Let's see. Weidman talks about how Holloway was able to find the opening against Jose. Basically, how he was able to figure out that he couldn't counter Jose, but if he let Jose counter and then countered that, he was able to land, and that's how he was able to get that finish. Just pretty interesting discussion from them. Luke Thomas had a live chat about DJ that was pretty interesting. He did reference Todd Martin's press row segment that where Todd Martin's been pretty outspokenly against DJ in this whole thing, saying it's like kind of hypocritical and all that. Which I thought was an interesting take. Mike Jackson, the reporter, not the dead pedophile.
That was mean.
Well, you're right. The propofol addict, dead pedophile. He, ironically enough, opened up his show talking about Prince in the intro, since it was Prince's birthday when they recorded it. They also talked about some solo lines at Steak and Shake and the Vitor fight. They made some great jokes about War Machine going to jail, talking about whether War Machine's going to be giving it or taking it.
Sure.
And then the quote, "How many dudes do you think it's going to take to hold him down?" And the other guy's like, "Good point."
Hey, that's one thing. Even though he's a piece of shit and he's done for life, he does have advantage. He is a fighter, so he probably hold his own for a little bit until he gets.
That was their argument, and then there was like, yeah, but like 3 dudes.
But no, I'm saying 3 people will get you.
And ironically enough, the episode cut off right around there. So I will actually talk about his.
Someone pull the plug on that shit. Quick.
Yeah. So I will actually talk about the show Truth About Stuff, Mike Jackson's podcast. I'll talk about that next week when I actually get to hear a full ep. Glory Kickboxing has a fucking podcast. They're like short 15, 20-minute chunks that John Ramsden, Robin Black's buddy, who does a lot of the videos with him from Fight Network, he started a Glory Kickboxing podcast that's like short clips. Pretty cool. They had Joe... oh God, what's Joe's name? Joe Valtellini is on the show with him, who's his commentating partner for Glory. They had on Nicholas Larson, who is just overcoming a crazy staph infection that like he almost had to have his leg taken off, and now he's working to getting back to fighting, which is a pretty cool story. The only other one was going to be my secondary skip, which was Your Welcome podcast. I had on fucking Doug Crosby, who was a fat troll and everyone hates. He said dumb things. He started name-dropping people and making shitty golf references. Let's see, he trolls Chael, saying, I'd probably leave the word cycle out of your vocabulary. Try time period.
All right.
He also is still shitting on Ricardo Almeida for judging because he fucking is a coach, even though he's not judging the actual fighters' fights.
Was Joel back?
No, Joel's still out. He also used a Nazi reference to compare how people aren't speaking out against Ricardo Almeida judging.
What?
He's just so fucking off his rocker and a crazy person. Other things I found out this week. Jonathan Snowden has a MMA podcast, so I'm going to check that out.
He's a pretty big name journalist.
Yeah, and he says a lot of shitty, stupid things.
I know he's on Bleacher Report, but then again, so is fucking Chad Dundas, and he's good.
Chad's great. So, like, and also I
like Snowden, though, too.
I've heard Snowden on a lot of interviews. He also says a lot of, like, fucking dumb shit on Twitter, so I'm curious to see what his podcast is like, but he didn't put out an episode this week. It was from, like, 2 weeks back, so I'll cover that at a future one. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is I did see a great thread on r/MMA with a list of fighters' YouTube channels.
Yes.
Which is great. So I'll have a link to that thread in the description, which has a list of basically every like fighter's YouTube channel they can find, and it's like 20 or 30, and they're pretty good.
I just want to say one last thing. This is discussed in a lot of podcasts that me and Chris listen to, is the whole DJ versus TJ fight. Should it happen? Will it happen? Demetrius Johnson had a fucking like 2,000 word response, which is fantastic. Brilliant. As far as what he discussed how he's being mistreated by the UFC. My take is that yes, he should.
Also, his aerial interview was fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was great.
Did we even mention that when we were talking about MMA Hour?
No, we didn't. Yeah.
It was fucking incredible. He basically went on and thoroughly explained his point. I mean, it was exactly what he thought it would be. Yeah, he explains how he got fed up of hearing about who he should be fighting from Ariel or people on Twitch. And that's why he sent out the tweet about waiting on the Borg fight, not knowing shit about TJ. He also said that Kobe and the speakers at the conference confirmed that, like, to him, that he needs to be to look out for himself rather than the promotion. Excuse me. And he was super heated. Oh, my favorite was, he's like, oh, they said, like, oh, maybe we're going to close the flyweight division. He's like, fine, close the motherfucking division then. Which is like, that's DJ on Twitch DJ. Like, that's the real DJ that you get, like, on Twitch. That's not, like, interview DJ normally. So it's good to see that side of that dude come out. But anyway, you were saying about that?
I'll just say this. I agree with DJ that he should get more respect, and it's fucking bullshit what the UFC's doing. However, in my opinion, it's a little ironic that DJ would like to fight Ray Borg, considering the fact that Ray Borg's missed weight about, I think, 4 times in his last, 6 fights, and the fact that he's only fought as a flyweight, I think, twice, and all the other ones were, catch weight. So I'm just saying, realistically, right, this is my opinion. If the UFC does give him TJ, and then that's it, please pay DJ. Please. Either way, though, if you had to choose, how more realistic is it to fucking rely on Ray Borg, who's missed weight numerous times?
I'll tell you how much more reliable it is. How many times has Ray Borg made 125 versus TJ?
Well, no. See, I get that point.
Everyone likes bringing up that he's missed weight. It's like, yo, bro, at least he's made it once.
At least he's made it once. No, I get that, yeah. But I'm just going off on the fact that Ray Borg continually misses the weight, meaning he's bad at weight management. I'm not granting TJ the benefit of the doubt, because he's only made 125 since he was 19 years old.
Yeah, I think DJ's worried he's going to intentionally blow weight.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Either way, realistically, since, I don't know, this is going to be going up for the next 3-4 fucking weeks, how do you see this going out? Who's DJ fighting in August? Because clearly he's going to have to fight someone. I think he's fighting TJ. I think they're not going to back down. It's either he fights TJ or he waits and says, fuck it, and then Joe Benavidez fights him, A year from now.
Probably that.
Yeah, he'll just wait a year.
They'll stand by it. I don't know. Unless they follow DC's advice and pay him that cool mill. And I think if they come at him like, hey, we'll pay you a flat fee of $1 million.
Yeah.
As long as the show happens. If the show doesn't happen, we'll pay you what your agreed show and win is, which would be less than the $1 million or whatever. And that would be like a fair, like...
If I were to choose it to happen, I'd say give Mighty Mouse the $1 million and have him fight TJ. That's just me. I want to see that fight. But that's just me. Give him his fucking money.
I just don't... Yeah, I just don't see it happening, probably. I think WME doesn't want to pay the fucking money, and they are just sending Dana in as their goon in the way that people used to joke about the Fertittas doing. Now, like, legitimately WME is like, oh, that's how this works, right?
Yeah.
So that seemed pretty much to be how that went. I just hope DJ gets motherfucking paid like he deserves.
Yeah, I just want him to get his money. He deserves it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, overall, although despite it being kind of a slow weekend podcast, not too bad.
Yeah, I know there's some good ones.
Yeah, there were some skippable ones as well, like Brennan Schaub on fucking MMA Junkie. Jesus Christ, MMA Junkie. Talk about anything other than traveling. Fucking Gorgeous George came and make it on time to his show and then talks for 20 minutes about how he might walk through Central Park before getting food to meet somebody. It's like, fucking, what are we doing? What am I doing with my life? I get it, you have to fucking do a show every day, but Jesus, bro, talk about anything other than you and eating. So I guess we'll wrap there for this segment.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gorgeous George. I like you. You're a sweet guy on the Underground and everything, but oh boy, your show drives me nuts sometimes. So we'll wrap this segment here. When we come back, we will briefly break down the UFC 212 card. We'll talk a bit about which fights we liked. We'll go over it again pretty briefly, since I feel like it's been discussed to death by now. And then we will do our third segment, which will be breaking down the upcoming Hunt vs. Lewis card. Which
fuck yeah.
I feel like I have not seen. Have you seen any promotion for that
Zero.
at all?
I've seen absolutely zero. Just say it's fucking
literally
nothing.
Zero. They're trying to bury Mark Hunt so badly.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss all that here coming up shortly. So look for our 212 recap here in a minute. And before we do that, you'll hear a clip of Sam Alvey talking about the one time he fought in a Russian circus.
I was saying I fought over in Russia once, and it had like the puzzle mat on the bottom of it, and then it was more or less an octagon, but it was like straight up playground fencing. That was what we fought in, and it was at a circus backstage where we were warming up. There were lions and tigers and stuff. It was one of the coolest experiences ever. And they announced me. They said Sam Alvey with an amateur record of, I was like 2-1 or something. And then they announced
crazy.
Big Russian guy with a record of 30 wins and 1 loss, and the champion of this and this and this. Like, I do remember before the fight started, like, oh shit.
All right, we are back. That was a clip of Sam Alvey telling his story of fighting in Russia in the weirdest octagon at a circus where there were like tigers and stuff backstage lions, where you warmed up.
That would not be fun.
Crazy fucking Russia story, man. It's so many parts of that story are so Russian. Pretty fucking hilarious overall. All right, so we are going to go through and break down the UFC 212 card that happened last weekend. I should know we are drinking Stone Brewing's brand new IPA. The
Ghost Hammer.
Yeah, the Ghost Hammer IPA. It's their...
and it's unfiltered.
Yeah, it's their unfiltered IPA they just put out. Because now, evidently, everybody's super into unfiltered beers. Which, okay, cool. I'm into it. I've never disliked unfiltered beers, so why not? And it's real good, Chris, right?
Oh yeah, dude, it's fucking solid.
I'm fucking hyped on it. So let me go ahead and pull up this card. All right, so what do you think of this UFC 212 card overall? I liked it quite a bit. I thought, especially
it surprised me in some ways.
Yeah, I thought especially the Fox Sports 1 prelims were real good.
Yeah, as far as these fights go, I think I only missed one. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we start at the bottom of the card? So, let's see. Figueiredo took on Marco Beltran. Pretty scrappy fight. It was super competitive when it started off.
Yeah, what'd you think of that corner stoppage being they're kind of just like, all right, he's done?
Well, I mean, he got caught with that super nasty uppercut at the end of the fight, or at the end of the round then he ducked right into it, and he looked like he was not in a good place.
I don't blame his corner. I mean, I thought he was dazed.
Also, he sold out for that guillotine so fucking hard in the first round that he was almost gassed completely after that anyway. And I feel like basically after that, it was kind of just they didn't see a way where he was going to be able to come back into that fight competitively.
Yeah. Good on Dievson Figueiredo for getting that win in front of his home country.
Pereira took on... what's his face? Oh, Pereira took on...
It was Marco Beltran, the Mexican boxer guy.
No, I meant next.
Next.
Yeah, because...
Chagas.
Oh, I forgot about Chagas and Wallhead.
Yeah, sorry, you're confusing me because you're saying Figueiredo took on...
I forgot.
The next fight was Luan Chagas, who just fought, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I think it was a quick turnaround for him. Mm-hmm. Jim Wallhead, I remember I picked Jim Wallhead last week.
Judo Jim.
Because of his kind of explosiveness at the beginning of the fight. He was hanging with Chagas for a bit in the first 2 rounds, but the end of that round, I guess the last 10 seconds is when Chagas was able to clip him after Wallhead kind of gassed out, I guess, for exerting too much energy. And impressive win by Chagas.
Definitely.
Getting a rear naked.
Definitely. And then Vivian Pereira took on Jamie Moyle. It was a fun fight, but Pereira, it seemed like from the beginning, was just tagging Moyle.
Yeah, and more volume throughout.
Yeah, it seemed like Moyle was just never really able to deal with the pace and the power of Pereira. I know Moyle, she started doing much, much better in the 3rd round. But she just took so much damage in the first 2 that there was just didn't really see a way for her to get back into it. I could see that fight scored close to a 29-28 for Pereira, but I could see a 30-27 also because Moyle still got tagged up a bit in that.
Yeah. Third. This next fight, I remember I chose Alcantara last week, but that's, to be fair, I never heard of Brian Boom Kelleher, but holy shit.
Same.
What a fucking... I believe it was a debut for Brian Boom Kelleher. And what a fine debut that it was.
No joke.
Man, this guy looks real good. Long Island native.
That's right. Trainer and partner of Aldo part-time.
Yeah.
And Aldo called out on Unfiltered that dude has a nasty squeeze on his guillotine, and you could tell. But he clipped Youre real hard right before he caught him in that.
And what did you think of that, too? After the fight, the Brazilian fans were throwing full cans of beer and soda at him, apparently.
Yep, super pissed.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's what happens when you chant back at the Brazilians.
That is true. He kind of did the shush. Yeah, wow.
It's not a good look.
He could ask for that then. No,
yeah, he's like, holy shit, fucking Brazil.
Oh, you crazy fucks.
Yeah, because Kelleher clipped Youre with a really hard right hook as he backed him against the cage. Youre hit the cage and he banged him with the right hook, and Youre took that Conor McGregor desperation shot and fell right into an arm-in guillotine. So fucking tight, dude. That tap was real quick because you could see he had that Marcellitine fucking one leg over the back nasty choke on that. So good on him.
And in this next fight, you were absolutely correct in going with the American Matthew Lopez. I thought Johnny Eduardo would pull it out because he's Brazilian, but nope, that wasn't the case. Matt Lopez had that ball in the ground and pound.
Johnny Eduardo almost hit a couple nasty heel hooks that were real close, had him grimacing, and then he just started banging on Johnny Eduardo, which is why that's the one knock against heel hooks is if you go 2-on-1 and sell out for a leg, the other dude can just swing down on your face a lot and devastatingly. That's exactly what happened. And then, ironically enough, in the next fight...
Oh, speaking of which, I remember I chose Eric Spicely, and he did look okay, but since you brought the fact that Antonio Carlos Jr. beat world-class BJJ specialist Gary Tonin, it had to be veteran black belt Antonio Carlos Jr. versus newer black belt Eric Spicely, and...
Yep. And Shoeface, of course, went to the 50-50 guard, home of Gary Tonin, which I'm sure he learned very well training for that.
And I remember, I can't remember which podcast said it, but they said this was the best display of modern jiu-jitsu they had ever seen.
Luke Thomas.
It was Luke Thomas, thank you.
It was a Monday Morning Analyst.
It was him. Yep, perfect, okay.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Luke Thomas broke it down better than we'll ever be able to.
Because this was one of his most hyped up fights, too.
Absolutely. Somewhere during this fight, fucking Eddie Bravo was just standing and cheering wherever he was. Like,
oh, it was a Fight Companion. I didn't watch.
Was he on Fight Companion?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
Maybe he was.
I just realized I missed that this week.
I watched it and I don't remember if he was on.
Does he have them, by the way, on YouTube? Like, can I go back and watch?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, because I remember someone said 18 minutes when he freaks out with Max and.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm so used to Brian Callen and.
No, but I'm almost 100% sure Bravo was.
I think he was.
Yeah.
I just got so distracted by Brian Callen and his wine and cheese. He's like, "You guys ready to go to Italy? We're going to Italy now."
Yeah, see, because all the comments are like, "Oh, fuck this Brian Callen guy."
Here, have some moots, and we're gonna go to Italy. Like, Jesus Christ, Brian, with your fucking.
Hey, I like
scarf.
his idea, but come on, it's fight time.
He's such a. I love Brian. He's such a fucking weirdo. Yeah, this is an incredible fight. Incredible use of 50-50. They were in it twice. First round and second round, they ended up in 50-50, which was wild to see that competent of 50-50 guard play in high-level MMA. Then eventually, Antonio Carlos Jr. in a scramble was able to catch his back. He got the body lock and then was able to sink the choke real fucking deep. I think he got the back and got the body lock in the end of the first also. And then did again towards the end of the second and got that rear naked really deep and really tight. So good on Shoeface. That dude's a beast. Also shouts out to Dean Thomas in his corner for that fight. Rafael Sunsao and Marlon Moraes coming to a split decision.
Me and you both agreed we thought a Sunsao won this, right? I'm not surprised that it went to split. I could see how someone kind of gave it to Marlon.
I gave Marlon the last round for sure.
The last round I gave him, but the first round was pretty even. I gave it to Sunsao.
I gave it to a Sunsao too. I felt like he just got the better of the exchange.
But I do see why it was split. When they said like, oh, blah blah blah, Moraes, I'm like, that's not surprised. I'm like, but I hope they give it to Sunsao.
And another thing to note is Marlon Moraes has been fighting 5-rounders forever now because he's been a champ for so long.
Yep.
So that is one thing to note. All right, now that car alarm outside my window stopped, we can resume recording. So, yeah, overall, I think we're gonna see a lot better Marlon Moraes going forward.
Now because the jitters out of the way.
Yeah, but all things considered, for a debut fight at that high level against the number 3 dude. He looked good.
He looked real good.
Like, he's easily top 10.
And he's got a good fucking camp with Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida, Frankie Edgar, those guys.
And he's only going to get better.
Eddie Alvarez, those are the ones I can think of. But yeah, still fucking great camp, so.
Absolutely, and he's only getting better from here, so I'm excited to see him. Yancy Medeiros, Eric Silva, this is a fun fight.
I like this. What do you think of the stoppage?
So Eric Silva was real good early and then got real tired.
Yeah.
And then Yancy Medeiros caught him with a bomb. I mean, he was clipping him with some bombs.
What'd you think of this when he went like this to the fence? That supercharged fucking Donkey Kong punch. He missed, unfortunately, but damn, that would have been tight if he would have fucking.
So goofy. It's like punch the fence, punch the fence, punch the fence, punch you. Yeah.
And Silva went for that fucking like heel kick, but then he missed too. So who knows?
All kinds of weird spinning shit, and like this is a weird fight. But a lot of really good bombs landed by both guys. And then,
once Medeiros connected, which sent Silva to the mat, I was like, okay, yeah, he's fucking hurt.
Clipped him hard, and then as soon as he was getting that, he was going for the finish, and he was hitting him with some solid shots. But Eric Silva was still digging for an underhook.
Fine,
He was still digging for an underhook from half guard and trying to sit up and get a sweep or something.
Was that Yamasaki?
I think it was Maya, right? Nope, it was Eduardo Hardy.
Yeah, it was early stoppage in my opinion. They could have kept going, but I mean, whatever.
I would have liked to have seen it go a little bit longer. Although I don't probably don't think Eric Silva survives it.
No, probably not.
But overall, I thought it was a good fight, and I am excited to see Yancy get a big win like that. Paulo Enrique Costa.
I thought this was the Bocarina guy. Did he change his name?
Borrachina.
Did he change his name?
No, he has like 6 names if you look it up.
Okay.
He literally has like 5
I'll go
or
with
6
Paulo
names.
Borrachina.
Yeah, I'm gonna go just Borrachina
versus the Holy War Angel.
Alwali Bambose. Alwali Bambose did exactly what Alwali Bambose does. He goes out, he throws 100% power, weird, awkward karate taekwondo shit at you for like 2.5 minutes, and then he dies a slow gas death. Borrachina also was slowly gassing out as well.
It's when Bangbozi went for that spinning bullshit and he slipped, and then that's when he hit the ground, and then Borrachina was like,
yeah. It was, I mean,
either way,
he was getting pieced slip, up either way. Sure, yeah,
Borrachina would have got him.
But Bamboza, that dude, he fights like he has like a good 3 minutes of fury in him, and then after that, it's like, oh well, you made it.
Pretty much.
So pretty brutal.
That's all I'd say about that. As far as Borrachina goes, I think he has a lot of work to do if he wants to get, because the middleweight division.
Me too, but he's a kind of a beast though.
He's a beast for his size. He didn't even look like a fucking middleweight. First of all, so good for him that he can make that weight. He's gigantic.
He looks like a fucking.
You saw this fight on his ass 24/7. USADA is tolling this guy's ass 24/7.
Both these dudes, I would imagine.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited to see what Borrachino does. I don't know who to give him next. I can't really think of the middleweight division at the moment.
The fucking
it's really confusing.
Middleweight division.
There's killers, but it's confusing, so we'll see. Either way, that was a good fight. What did you think of these old, washed-up fighters fighting?
Wow, Chris. Shots fired.
That's mean. Yeah, I'm being straight up.
I want to work on rephrasing that in the future. Vitor Belfort, Nate Marquardt.
They're both washed up.
That's an aggressive way to phrase that, since this is a pretty competitive fight.
For their weight class, they're both in the 185. No,
I mean,
they can't
Chris,
hang with the top
have you seen... Yeah, top 5, but everyone else after that is like all Vitor Belfort and Nate Marquardt fodder.
Well, not Kelvin Gastelum, because he's not top 5 yet.
No, he's like top 5. He's top 5.
You think now?
Who else?
Well, let's see. Here, let's see. Because remember, this is arguably the most stacked division, right?
185?
Yeah.
Are you high?
That or lightweight.
Are you high? That's the most stacked division? Fucking what's Sam Alvey ranked right now? What's fucking... Oh, God, there's a guy who I keep forgetting is ranked at 185. That blows my mind every time.
Okay, here's the top 5.
Give me, start from the bottom.
The bottom.
Give me number 10.
Number 10?
Give me number 10.
Number 10 is Krzysztof Jotko at the moment.
That's not that bad. Give me 9.
Number 9 is David Branch.
Okay, not that bad. Give me 8.
8, Derek Brunson.
Okay, 7.
7, Anderson Silva, who should not be 7.
Okay, 6. Kelvin.
Chris Weidman.
Okay, it's not as bad as it used to be.
No, I'm telling you, this division's stacked because 5 is Jacare.
How about 10 to 15 though?
Okay, I'll tell you. 11, Vitor. No, shouldn't even be close to. I'm sorry, he's washed up. You know what sounds mean, but he's washed up, guys. Talos Litis, he could hang with Talos Litis probably, at least in stand for a little bit. Number 12, 13, Uriah Hall. He's so inconsistent. 14, Sam Alvey. Shouts out Sam Alvey. And 15, old man Daniel Kelly.
Yeah, I guess it's not as bad as it used to be.
It's a good division.
It's not 205, I guess.
Excuse me for those who got offended when I said both washed up, but clearly Nate Marquardt's unranked, and Vitor shouldn't even be 11. I'm sorry. He should be like 16. I stand by my asshole insult, but they're not as... When I say washed up, I'm not saying they're nobodies. Fuck no. Vitor's a legend. Nate beat Tyron Woodley, and he beat fucking Damian Maia. I know he has
He beat Vitor Belfort.
And he beat Vitor Belfort. This fucking fight.
Yeah.
So there we go.
It's a terribly judged fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Vitor got the Brazilian commission blowjob that he always gets. Shouts out to Kelvin Gastelum.
He only had like one good round. It was like round 2 when he got fucking Nate Marquardt against the fence and hit him with a couple of hooks and shit.
That's now 2 victories back to back that Vitor has gotten that he didn't earn. Shouts out to Kelvin Gastelum and shouts out to Nate Marquardt.
Contest, but still,
still counts as a
not a loss. Is what it counts
it's not a loss.
Yeah.
Which
even though he clearly got murdered and got knocked the fuck out.
I don't have much to say about this fight.
What do you think's next for Vitor?
Other than I heard that Nate was offered $20,000 to not go to the ground with Vitor.
But clearly he didn't care because he took his ass to the ground. He only did it once
and then never did it again in the fight. Yeah. And not much came of it the first time.
Oh, he should have done it again.
He should have done it the whole fight. I hope Ryzen is next to
This is the one fight out of the card they clearly missed. Clearly, I think, and I say that confidently, clearly Nate won. That's my opinion. I don't
Absolutely.
Know what the fuck.
Yeah, Nate, I think
he clearly won that
2 rounds
fight.
to 1.
Yeah.
Claudia Gadelia, Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
This was a surprise to me for how quickly it ended.
Yeah, and just how Karolina fought the wrong hand. It was pretty competitive at the beginning. Claudia's still catching with some bombs, but Karolina was clipping her here and there. And then Claudia was able to get the takedown, and immediately Karolina turned her back. Yep. Claudia sunk the hooks, got the choke in and or got the over under, and Carolina, as Luke Thomas pointed out, fights the wrong hand and just big bank take little bank, as Luke Thomas would say, and that shit was a wrap. KK will definitely be back and will look better. She looked pretty devastated by this one. But yeah, just absolute dominant performance from Claudia Gadelha, who, I mean, this division is now weird. I guess you do, like, her and Rose haven't fought, right?
Who?
No,
Claudia has not fought Rose.
They're gonna give Rose to JJ though.
Which I think is a bad idea. Well, and I guess I don't know where really Rose goes from there, except for fighting Claudia. So,
yeah, I mean,
I just don't see anyone beating JJ.
No, I don't either. But JJ is just so scary. But I love this division. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's a fun division.
And there's
just
a bunch of little murders.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when we get the Andrea KGB Lees.
By the way,
did
you see that Angie Hill has been confirmed? She kind of leaked she's on Tough this year.
Oh, did she?
Oh, yeah, she accidentally did.
No way.
In her Instagram post today, she said hashtag, she said hashtag Tough 25 finale, so I know she's fighting in July, but she was insinuating she tried out too, because she was with Chris Stanley.
Interesting.
Maybe she isn't. She's probably not.
She's probably just fighting on that card.
But yeah, because I know she's what, a strawweight still, right?
Yeah, and she was probably hanging out with Chris Stanley.
Yeah, that's probably
because she's not.
So
she's not a
125. Nothing confirmed. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So because besides, I argued today she's top 10 at 115 right now, pretty squarely.
I think she is.
No, she's not. She's not even ranked.
Well,
top 15.
But in our eyes, yeah.
I mean, I have her over like right around Courtney Casey-ish, which is I think Courtney's
just
9.
pop for roids too.
Nah, it's not that simple. She popped for something.
Okay.
I don't think it was like strip testosterone. It was something weird. I forget what though. Yeah, which is a bummer. And it's funny that she's still ranked actually.
Oh, your girl Paige Van Zandt is number 12.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I went with she's arguably 10 or above.
Okay, dude, I'm looking at these rankings. Holy shit, they're really out of whack. This is really bad.
Yeah, Carlos Barza is.
Yeah, watch. So we got Joanna champion. Claudia's number 1, clearly. Carolina was number 2. I don't know what I guess Rose will go up to number 2 now. Who knows? Well, I don't know. Carolina did beat Rose, but it's a good fight. Jessica Andrade is number 4, Ticia Torres 5, Michelle Watterson 6, Joanne Calderwood 7, Carlos Rosa 8, Randa Marcos 9, Marina Moros number 10.
Marina Moros. Yeah, Moros, I put her like right between the Iron Lady.
Courtney Casey number 11, Paige Van Zandt 12, Felice Herrig 13, Cynthia Calvillo 14. Including Cynthia Calvillo is a top 10 easily in my mind already.
I would also put I think you
got Jessica Aguilar number 15. I would put Angie Hill 10 to 15 range.
I would put her right between Iron Lady and who's right above Marina Moros?
Yeah, Randa Marcos.
I put her like right around Randa Marcos, like
so
just behind
number 10.
Randa.
Number 10. Yeah.
The only reason people are saying that she shouldn't be there is because they have not watched her Invicta run where she's been killing people like Livia Hinata Souza, who would fucking murder like
was
half
Angie
the
Hill
fucking
the atomweight champ
division. No,
or was she the strawweight?
Strawweight.
Okay,
and,
right on.
In Invicta, she beat Livia Hinata Souza and then defended against I forget who, somebody. But yeah, Angie's a beast, and she's also very fucking nice and cool. Go check out her Twitch channel, twitch.com/Angie Overhill. Actually, it's twitch.tv/Angie Overhill. Anyway, no, wait, Angie Overkill. Sorry, Overhill. Jesus. Anyway, Max Holloway took on Jose Aldo, I heard, Chris.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I also heard this fight was fucking awesome.
It was the shit. Yeah. It was so good. Oh my god.
So how did me and you score? We pretty much scored it evenly.
Yes, which is not at all how anyone else scored it, evidently.
Yeah, I know. See, because me and you looked at the scorecards, and they all pretty much unanimously gave it 2-0 to Aldo.
Yep.
Before the third one happened. I don't know how the media did it, because I know you could look up on Reddit how the media did it.
I think mostly 2-0 Aldo, but I totally had it 1-1.
And as a self-proclaimed aspiring media, I had it 1-1 before the third round, as did you. Because clearly, sure, Aldo had his moments in the second round, but Holloway was clearly finding his groove, especially like you're saying, countering that after the 1-2 by Aldo, he got him with that lead left hook.
Yep.
And it was starting to fucking
he just kept, as Connor Rebush pointed out on this week's Heavy Hands, he just kept countering the counter of Aldo. Max figured out towards the end of the first round that he couldn't catch Aldo before Aldo would see it coming, but he started figuring out that if he let Aldo counter and then threw again late, then he could catch him. He also did a really good job at throwing in, like, when he was exiting clinches. A bunch of times he clipped Aldo with a big whopping hook to the side of the head as he was exiting the clinch. And then, yeah, so Aldo that first round pieced up Max, hit him with that huge fucking knee after, like, a long, nasty combo where he clipped him hard a handful of times. And then come out to the second round, Max Holloway eventually starts landing here and there. Josie, I feel like, took the first minute or so, and then after that, Max just kind of put the pressure on, started piecing him up. And then towards the end of the round, Max Holloway went full motherfucking EA UFC 2 Nate Diaz, where he just straight up did the fucking arms out and then the fucking lead hand
just inviting the Stockton slap.
Which, by the way, if you guys don't know, the only way to do the Stockton slap on EA UFC 2 is you have to do the gesture with your hands out, and then if you swing from the lead hand, you can do a Stockton slap, which is literally one for one that Max Holloway did.
That fucking clean too.
And not only that, you can watch Max Holloway do that exact move on EA UFC 2 if you go to his Twitch channel. So that dude is clearly.
Oh, did they give that to him in the game though?
Like, no, they gave it. He was playing as Nate and did it to people.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
But Max Holloway in the game does have the option to stand and bang, where if there's
that's right when you would
there's 10 seconds left in the round and you're fighting anybody, if you taunt, it'll point to the ground and the other dude will point and it'll take away all your mobility.
That's
so
amazing,
all you can do is swing or like move like a half an inch. It's fucking insane.
That's fucking tight.
But yeah, Max Holloway is the motherfucking man. He put it on. He put like some heat on Aldo late, and then Aldo clipped him at the very end of that round. And then Max said on, I believe it was Unfiltered podcast, that in the corner after the second, said to his corner, like, all right, fight starts now. This is where this shit goes down. Fight starts now, motherfuckers. Yeah. He's like, let's go. You see him like yelling at Aldo across the cage, and they come out and Max on fucking fire, dude. Throwing fucking, putting the pressure on, getting into wild brawls, and then catches him with that clean 1-2 twice. Puts him down, jumps on him, and then does a really good job of doing that. Luke Thomas pointed out, does a really good job of putting that heavy knee on belly pressure and passing through and just throwing motherfucking bombs. And what'd you think of that stoppage? I think we discussed it a bit earlier.
I thought it was extremely accurate by Big John. It wasn't too early, wasn't too late. He gave Aldo the championship benefit of the doubt as far as defending himself. Aldo is a tough son of a bitch, defended himself as long as he could. And other than that, it was about, I think, 15 consecutive strikes near the side of the temple, from Holloway.
More than that. I mean, just the last flurry was like 15.
Either way, it was the perfect stoppage. Wasn't too early, wasn't too late. Congrats to the new undisputed champion, Max Holloway.
That's right, king of Donkey Kong, king of N64, Mario Kart, and Tupac.
Yep.
Fucking millennial champ.
So real quick, since we just got done covering this card, what do you think is next for the new champ?
Well, there's only one answer.
I mean,
it's the answer.
It's the answer. Yeah. Cub Swanson. I like Cub Swanson a lot.
I do too, but you can't give Cub this fight.
Now he's just gonna beg. Let me fight. No, not off Artem the T-Rex.
Oh God, that's the last fight.
See,
that's right.
Because people on Reddit were like this. Oh, I didn't know that fighting Artem gives you a title shot. And I just think someone's like, oh, well, clearly Cub has never fought Frankie, so they should fight. No, fuck that.
Cub Lamas.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, me and you, Frank, we both think Frankie.
It's Frankie. It should be Frankie.
I would say I like Frankie's chances, but I don't know. I don't know what Max's takedown defense is. Either way, I love just Max's game all around.
Max is big compared to Frankie,
and he's big because Frankie's a good inch shorter than Aldo, and he has way less. He doesn't have as long arms.
And Max uses reach well, and he is just as good a gas tank. And he has an underrated ground game.
And as far as the odds of Max ever fighting McGregor at lightweight,
I think they're good.
I think they're good too, actually. Because, I think that probably will happen. You know what? I wouldn't be fucking surprised knowing the UFC and especially knowing Conor, if he ever does defend his belt, he'd be like, fuck it, why not do a championship or a champion fight? Because then if he loses, he could say he lost to a champion instead of losing to someone like who? Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, no, it's Nate. It's either Nate or Max for the next fight, for sure.
But I think he would take Max. He would take Max for sure, though. He'd want to fight a champion.
Right.
See what I'm saying? In his eyes, Yeah, I think that's the next fucking lightweight championship fight.
Or maybe Conor does some crafty shit and tries to go to
besides the interim.
What if Conor does some crafty shit and tries to go to 150 to fight Max? So that way he doesn't actually put his belt on the line.
That'd be smart. And I would still watch that. That'd be tight, though. That'd be tight.
Then he can still offer Nate Diaz the 155 fight afterwards, regardless. I think that
for the belt.
I think this is Conor's plan. Either that or he takes the Nate fight at 170 first, and then if he loses that, he's like, fuck it, I'm going back to my real weight, 155. I'm fighting Max de Hawaiian Holloway.
What happens to Tony Ferguson during this? Does he finally fight Khabib?
Tony Ferguson gets so fucking angry that he
goes to
assaults
170
someone.
himself?
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do.
Who knows?
He's going to get real mad. He's going to have to fight...
Because by that time, all that happened, Khabib would be good for the fall, and we all still want to see Khabib fight Tony. There's no tiramisu.
That is my favorite fight in UFC history.
Yeah, no, me too. Like that's just
most anticipated matchup.
Because that's the thing. I can see Khabib winning via groundhog, but I can also see Tony winning off his back. It's nuts.
I absolutely love that
matchup. Both of them could easily win. Yeah,
and I like Tony on the feet.
That too. Yeah, especially that. Yeah.
So I think it'll be a really fun fight. Yeah, there's a lot of fun in 145 and 155 as always, but more than ever with Max Holloway as champ. Sad to see Jose Aldo go out like that, but
he said he will be back. He did say on Twitter. He says immediately.
I hope he is. I hope he goes up a weight. I think 145 is not a good weight. I think he will.
No. I think he's going to go to 155 now. He's been discussing that for a while. He said if he won the belt, the first thing he'd want to do is get a super fight with. He says he doesn't want to fight Conor anymore. I don't agree with that. If the payday's right, he would have fought Conor again at 155.
See, I want to see him against like.
But I think he did say he would love to fight Tony Ferguson or fucking Khabib. Yeah, he wanted to fight Khabib. That's what he called out about a year ago. He called out Khabib.
Yeah, I think he's a bad matchup for Khabib.
Yeah.
Because I think Khabib gets caught trying to get a takedown. Because and Aldo knows worst case I can just sit here and fucking throw heat, and then in worst case if he takes me down, I can try to work the ground game. Yeah. Because Aldo, people forget how elite a level black belt Aldo is. But, yeah, overall, just a great fucking card. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of big names, but a lot of good fights and scrappy competitive stuff. A lot of finishes.
Oh, yeah.
Only, couple decisions on the whole night? Maybe, 3?
That's pretty rare.
4 or something like that? Yeah. It's pretty impressive. So, I thought it was a lot of fun. And I guess we will wrap this segment here. So... you can listen up next to a clip of Demetrius Johnson talking about drinking moonshine in Hawaii with Yancy Medeiros in the background, and then we'll be back with our breakdown for the motherfucking Black Beast, Derek Lewis, taking on Mark Hunt.
Swanging and banging.
Swanging and banging, baby. Hey, also, don't forget, if Derek Lewis wins, he's going to do a sexy dance, so get your ladies out the room. And we'll be back to cover that here in a second.
What's going on, y'all? I'm out here in Hawaii with the King, Yancy, and Max Holloway. He got this thing called moonshine and shit. Where's Yancy at?
Hawaiian moonshine.
This shit's dangerous. It's so sweet.
All right, we are back. That was Demetrius Johnson sitting on a beach talking about Hawaiian moonshine with Yancy Medeiros
and Max Holloway too.
That's right. Yeah, Max Holloway on the beach drinking, brother. So I thought that was a fun clip, and good on DJ. That motherfucker deserves a vacation. So I hope he's having fun out there. So we are here to break down the UFC Fight Night 110 Hunt vs. Lewis card.
In Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh boy, this card.
More like Auckland, New Zealand. Right? Well.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Terrible attempt.
Yeah, more like Australia, New Zealand.
Well, they're the same. They're the same.
So, yeah, speaking
One just has more sheep.
Yeah, nailed it. Speaking of which, this card is... I don't know how to segue off sheep. This card is... Okay, so this card...
is shaggy with talent. Clearly not there.
Is that what that means?
No, not at all.
Something shaggy with talent.
I was thinking of the sheep, like being shaggy with all the...
It's sheared.
we're trying, guys.
It's a fucking woolly bully of a matchup in the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh boy. This card is real rough. There's some fights on this card I am excited about. Not a lot. So I guess we'll start at the bottom. I am excited to see the Maestro, Dong Young Kim, back in the cage. Of course, he is coming off of his win over Brandon O'Reilly after the crazy motherfucking loss to Marco Polo Reyes.
Still one of the best fights I've ever seen.
One of the craziest fights of all time. He's taking on Thibaut Gauthier, who is out of France.
French. Okay.
And is coming off the loss to Chad Laprise.
3 straight losses.
Yeah, but to be fair,
he did lose to the fake Frenchman in Canada, Olivier Aubin-Mercier.
Who is a beast,
but that guy is badass.
Yeah, and Chad Laprise, who is also tough as nails, and Timu Pakulin.
The Finnish motherfucker.
Yeah. Why don't I have you kick off the picks for this one? You like Maestro or do you like GT? Thibaut Gauthier?
I like Maestro because of his chin. I know this guy, the French dude, Thibaut, what the fuck his name is, he's fought some top... I mean, they both really fought top guys. I just like Maestro because I've seen him fight recently. I haven't seen the other guy fight recently. And he had a fucking war. I did see his victory with Brandon O'Reilly. He stood in the pocket and just stood and banged the guy. Yeah, I like Maestro.
I do too. I don't know much about Thibaut, despite seeing him fight 3 times now. But I do like Maestro to get into a brawl. And
I can see this going to decision.
So yeah, I can see either decision or TKO from Maestro. Yeah. Let's see. JJ Aldrich is taking on Chan Mi John. This is one of the fights I am very excited for on this card. JJ Aldrich, of course, coming over from Invicta, having fought over there.
That's right.
Against Lynn Alvarez, looking real good. And then she just is coming off the decision loss to Juliana Lima. I really like JJ Aldrich.
I remember she had solid striking.
Yeah, I mean, she's fought a bunch. She's fought Jamie Moyle in the past and people like that, too. Even though she did technically get caught and put out by Jamie Moyle way back in Invicta 11, which was back in 2015 now. But JJ Aldrich is really tough, really scrappy, just going to keep her head down and box you up. And has a heck of a chin on her. Taking on Chan Mi John, who's coming over from South Korea and is coming off a 5-fight win streak. She's got 4 KOs/TKOs and 1 decision.
And she's only 19. Wow.
Yeah, you can see one of her fights, the Na Young Song fight at All FC 1, is actually available on YouTube. I'll have a link in the description. Pretty good fight, a lot of fun. It went to decision and it was only a 2-rounder because fucking Asia. But I think this is going to be a fun, scrappy fight. Chris, why don't you give us your pick for this?
I
know you're not really familiar with either one of these shows very much.
I've seen Aldrich like once.
Yeah.
It's why I'm going with her. I mean, I get it. Chan Mi John is pretty green. She's only 19. I know she's probably fought some scrappy chicks.
Oh, yeah, you saw her in the Evander Kuniskaya fight.
Yeah. So that's why I got to go to Aldrich only because I don't want to choose someone I've never seen fight, and that's still pretty green. It wouldn't surprise me if Chan Mi John wins and then she kind of proves herself as a top person, even though she's only like 19 or 20. But, I just go to the safe route and go JJ Aldrich right here because I've seen her fight. So
I'm right there with you. I really like JJ's use of space. She's hittable, but she's also very scrappy. She's not afraid to get into scrambles. She's not afraid to put pressure on you and walk you down and kind of just 1-2 you to death and keep working that pressure. I like her in this fight. I haven't seen a lot of I've only seen the 1 tape of Chan Mi John, and it's she also, it should be noted, is coming down from 125. Okay. So fingers crossed she makes weight tomorrow since we're recording this on Thursday. But I for that and a couple other reasons, JJ Aldrich's pace, all that, I kind of like her in this fight. Although I think it is going to be scrappy and fun like most JJ Aldrich fights. And I think it's going to be a good display of the 115 division. Zach Otto is taking on Kiichi Kunimoto. I have heard these names before. Don't know much else than that.
I've heard of Zach Otto.
Lost to Sergio Moraes and went over Josh Berkman. That's pretty big names. Let's see. Kiichi Kunimoto is coming off the loss to Neil Magny when he got choked out. That was back in 2015.
Oh, wow.
And then he had a win over Richard Walsh.
He did fight 3 times.
He does have a win over Daniel Serafian, which is pretty big. But he has not fought since 2015. Of course, Zach Otto last fought in November against Sergey Moraes, split decision. And he won a split decision over Josh Berkman. Which way do you see this one going?
You know what? I agree with what Dominic Cruz said years ago about the ring rust not existing. I'm going to go with the Japanese guy, Kiichi Kunamoto. I don't know. It's just a hunch. I have no logic behind this pick. It's just one of those where I'm like, fuck it.
He is out of Cobra Kai with your boy Joe Daddy.
No way.
Yeah, Joe Daddy is Cobra Kai is his JoJo.
That's badass.
Yeah, I could see that, but I like Zach Otto in this just because of the ring rust.
Yeah,
mostly.
I hear you.
And plus, going to split decision with Sergio Moraes is a
No shit
motherfucking.
in it. Yeah, wow.
That's a goddamn accomplishment. Although that is a 155er, which is interesting because this is a 170 fight, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. But if he's moving back up, I think
I just
like
realized
that.
Otto's in Milwaukee. Do you think he's with Duke Rufus?
No, Pura Vida BJJ.
I was just curious, guys.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Let's see. John Moraga is taking on Ashkan Mokhtarian. I think.
Well, I've heard of John Moraga.
I've heard of Ashcans.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, John Moraga coming off that loss to Sergio Pettis.
And Matheus Nuclear.
Pereira.
And Joby Wan.
Yep, but he does have a win over Willie Gates, king of the barbecue.
And Justin Imus Wade Scoggins.
True. Willie Gates, king of barbecue. I miss Willie Gates. I liked that guy a lot.
Ooh, this guy's dropping weight.
This guy's coming down from 135 out of ATT. Nope, not that ATT. Australian top team.
Yeah, I'm going with John Moraga. Because this guy's dropping weight and I don't recognize Australian promotion. Sorry, guys.
Why, you don't know J&I Promotions 1-on-1?
Nope, not from the
Where
area.
he head kicked the guy 30 seconds in.
Not from the fucking area. As long as the
Right.
guy isn't talking about my anus, I'm good.
John Moraga. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you about not talking about dudes' anuses. John Moraga, yeah, I'm gonna go probably John Moraga by decision.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be a turning point if John Moraga drops that one though. And this dude is coming in with a crazy head kick knockout 30 seconds in, so that could end up being a wild fight. Who knows? We'll see. This next fight, Dominique Steele, one of my favorite non-porn star names. Also, with my favorite non-porn star nickname, Non-Stop Action Packed, is taking on Luke the Jedi Jamo, who is
pretty bad too.
Also evidently he is black and white.
Maybe because he's Native Alaskan?
Yeah, well he is from Fuck It Top Team. So
Or, excuse me, not Alaskan, Maori. I am a piece of shit, but to be fair, they're both Native Pacific Islanders too.
Yeah, and they're both...
Well, Alaskans. Yeah, Alaskans are pretty much
They both live
too.
in the boondocks. I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
Harley.
So yeah, exactly. He's our buddy Harley. So he is coming off of... Oh wait, holy shit! Is that the regular Jangolang?
Yeah, the guy who died.
No, wait.
Unfortunately, God rest his soul.
He died.
Yeah, that guy died.
The leech died.
He fucking died. You know, he's the one. Did
No,
he
he's
die?
not. No, he's not. He fucking fought in January, dog.
Oh, then
he's in the UFC.
Apologies to everyone. This is the
Jesus
guy that did
Christ.
not die.
Jangolang. No, Jangolang is still around.
I'm so sorry. There's another guy named Jangolang who died.
Holy shit, he fought Jake Matthews back in the day, too.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so he has fought two really fucking tough UFC vets. Yeah, man, that's kind of impressive. He lost to both of them by sub, though. And who's he taking on? Dominique Steele, who's not going to throw any subs at him.
Not the porn star.
Dominique Steele. Oh, god damn it, Sherdog.
It's down below in this cocksuckers.
Sherdog's a bunch of cunts. Yeah, cunt.
Gotta love that quiz.
Yeah, I gotta go Dominique Steele on this one, I think. Mostly because...
He did fight Zach Cummings and John Kim.
Zach Cummings,
and Danny Roberts.
Danny
that guy
Hot
likes to
Sauce.
fucking throw
Not
hands.
Hot Sauce. What's his name? Hot
Just
Chocolate?
The British guy that Mike Perry knocked the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Really
He's Hot Chocolate. And then Court McGee, who's a tough motherfucker,
I like Dominic
too.
Steele, too, just based on who he's fought lately.
Yeah.
So.
Also, new guy coming over. It's hard to tell, and they're probably only putting him on the card because he is actually.
He's like Pacific Islander, basically Alaskan, something New Zealand. No, he's
Zealand. He's from
I keep
saying.
I keep saying
Alaska.
You know why I keep saying Alaska? Because there's a Juneau, Alaska, and his name is Jumo.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Is he a Jew though?
No, he's a Jew. Juno. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
Yeah, Alaska, but he's clearly not from Alaska, you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
But he's native, just like Alaskans.
Absolutely. All right, now that Sherdog's website stopped fucking crashing on me in the middle of this, Vince Pichel from Hell is taking on Damian Brown. Damian Beatdown Brown, I should say, out of Australia. Shocking. Who has the win over John Tuck and Cesar Arzamendia. Yep.
Right?
We almost had it. And then also Alan Patrick Silva Alves, which I didn't know he fought two dudes at once, but that's pretty crazy.
That's fine.
He's fighting Vince from Hell Pichel, former tough guy, right?
I believe so. I do recognize that name.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Yep, Ultimate Fighter lost to Ali Quinta.
No shame in that.
The semifinals. Hell no. His last fight was Anthony Njokuani in 2014.
Wait, what? So I'm clearly this guy's been injured for 3 years if he's still at the UFC.
I'm assuming.
Probably knee injuries.
I don't know, to be honest. Go ahead and what's your pick on that?
Well,
one?
I'm going Damian Brown because this guy's been out for like fucking 3 years.
Me too. Pretty simple. Let's see. Damian Brown is being he could
against fucking John Tuck.
I kind of like him by knockout, but maybe by decision. Could go either way.
Right decision, but fuck it.
Win
is a win.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
Alexander Volkanovski is taking on...
This is Mizuta Hirota.
Yeah, Mizuta Hirota. Who I feel like, again, we have not seen fight in a while. I guess it was December. He fought Cole Miller.
Okay.
And he has that tie against Teruto Ishihara.
Ooh, nice.
Way back in 2015. And then Alexander the Great Volkanovski, who's coming off of the win over Yusuke
Kasuya.
Yeah, Yusuke. I should know better from my fucking sweet Persona 4 playing I've been doing.
Any sort of anime.
Yeah, Yusuke. Fucking Chie would have yelled at me about that, you guys. That's my sweet Persona 4 reference. All right, so, yeah, Alexander Volkanovski, the Australian, taking on
I don't know shit about the Polak Australian, so I'm going to go with the Japanese dude.
Yeah, I like Mizuto, especially coming off the win over Cole Miller, even though it was not a super fucking hyped Cole Miller.
Cole Miller's still a scrappy guy.
Yep, and I also don't remember who Yusuke is, so I'm gonna go with Pugness on this
guy
one.
looks pretty uncertain in this photo too, like.
The guy he beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pugness, but I'm not familiar enough.
And then we got Ben 10 Win.
One of the best fights on the card
versus Tim Elliott. So
yeah. Ben Win looked great in his last fight against Jan Herrera.
I know Ben 10 Win lost Louis Smolka, who Tim Elliott just beat in a very exciting grappling match.
To be fair, Louis Smolka does that to people.
Yeah, he beat Jean Herrera, some Brazilian dude.
Yeah, Jean Herrera. And then Tim Elliott, of course, coming off that win over Louis Smolka.
He won one round fairly against Mighty Mouse. He looked impressive with his size.
Yep.
You know what? I like Tim Elliott in this because I'm assuming he's a little bit bigger than Ben 10. And I assume he has better grappling. He's just a grappling son of a bitch. And he has like Dom Cruz Jr. footwork. You know what I mean? Because he did used to train with Dom Cruz.
He's like Hillbilly Dom Cruz, I believe. Yes. Is my favorite description that I think Connor Rebush likes to use.
So I like Tim Elliott in this one because of he has more experience, in my opinion. Granted, the record and his grappling repertoire that he brings to the table. I like his style.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with you on that. I like Ben 10. I think he's underrated. And he's real scrappy in transitions, but so is Tim Elliott. And I feel like the real pick here, I'm gonna go with Tim, but I feel like the real pick here is Chris. We, I think, might have to bring back our betting segment.
Sure.
On this one. Do you know what the bet is?
Kicking the balls?
No. Does Tim Elliott make weight tomorrow?
That's true. I think he does, because I haven't seen him miss weight recently for 125.
True, but I'm never convinced he's going to make 125.
I mean, yeah.
He always looks like death.
And you know what's funny? He's bigger than TJ.
And he has missed before.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you're saying he will make it?
Yeah, even though this fight was added last minute because he was supposed to fight someone else. No. Then 10 was supposed to fight some other ass.
That's part of why I'm saying this.
Yeah, that's what I bet. He will make weight. Fuck
you think so?
Yeah, fuck, I'll bet you.
So what's the bet going to be? Like, are we taking a shot or is it going to be like a drink or something?
You choose if you win and I choose if I win.
Perfect.
So what do you choose if you win?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Would you want to say at the end?
No, you know what? We'll intro it on next week's show. We'll start with that.
Okay, yeah.
So
there's a wager, everyone.
That's
this
right.
Is the wager. This fight.
Our Sound of Violence booze wager.
Pretty much.
That's my ghetto sound effects where I don't even slow my own voice down.
Booze wager.
Right. Yeah, six-pack challenge.
Oh my!
Shouts out to Zane.
And pint 6-pack. Just kidding.
Yeah, shouts out to Zane Lamprey. All right, so yeah, I liked him in that, but I think it's gonna be a fun, scrappy fight while it lasts. Jan Cutelaba is taking on Luis Enrique de Silva. Jan Cutelaba is coming off a crazy win, right? No loss to Jared Cannonier.
Where the fuck is this guy from again? Go up. Oh, is this that Hulk guy? Yeah, it is the Hulk guy. Yep. Republic of Moldova.
I feel like he looked good in the Cannonier fight until he just died cardio wise.
I think you're right.
Also, Misha Serkinov choked him the fuck out with a head and arm, from what I remember. He's taking on Frankenstein, Luis Enrique de Silva, who is coming off the loss to Jordan Johnson, who I don't even know who that is. Even lost to the Bear
Jew? Okay.
Ooh, he did lose to Paul Craig. Went over Joachim Christensen, though. This is a tough fight to pick.
Real tough fight.
Also, this is just going to be a tough fight to watch from the looks of things.
You know what? As a hunch, I like the Hulk via TKO early. He's going to go out fucking swinging real hard. This dude, he's in good shape. Doesn't have extreme cardio. I think De Silva's going to look for some sort of, if he can get the takedown, going to look for some, submission attempts, probably an arm triangle. I think that's just bread and butter. But I'm going with my hunch. I'm going with the Hulk dude, Ion Cutelaba.
I think that's a smart pick. I think Luis Enrique de Silva gets him down and chokes him out.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a weird, sloppy, light heavyweight affair up until then. So that'll be a thing. Ross Pearson, Dan Hooker, more things that we're watching.
Yeah. This is tough.
I love Ross Pearson, don't get me wrong. I'm a big Ross Pearson fan.
And that guy looks like
I just wish he was still at Alliance, because despite
is he not at Alliance anymore?
I don't think he is. He might be. I know he wasn't for this fight before this last, or for his last fight.
I haven't seen any pictures in forever.
Yeah, I haven't heard, I thought he was back in Australia from what I remember. He's coming off Ross Pearson's coming off the split decision loss to Stevie Ray.
3 straight losses. Fuck.
Yeah, but look at who he's lost to: Will Brooks, Jorge Masvidal, and Stevie Ray. Those are all fucking top 10 dudes.
Oh, yeah, and that's in Jorge. That was his last fight at 155. Too.
Yeah. That's a tough fucking lineup. And Francisco Trinaldo is the only one before that recently. Also, don't forget he has that split decision win over Paul Felder and Chad LaPrise. And then Dan the Hangman Hooker. It's got to be a better nickname. Because it just sounds like Dan the Hangman Hooker.
Wait, is this fight at 155, right? Yeah. Because it looks like this guy's a fucking featherweight. See that?
Yeah.
So this guy's going up in weight for this fight.
I guess so, huh? Because he took on Jason Knight last and Yair Rodriguez.
That's Nick Diaz, too.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder...
Ooh, this makes it interesting.
Yeah, that actually kind of does.
This guy's going up in fucking weight. Because look, clearly he looked like death cutting to 145, so he's got to tell himself, I got to go up.
Or he took the fight at 155 because he wants to fight in New Zealand because he's from New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. You know what? I kind of like Hooker in this fight. Ross Pearson, I like you, buddy, but I feel like the mileage is stacked on. I don't know what the fuck his camp is currently at, and I like the competition that Dan the Hangman Hooker spot lately, so I'm gonna go with him. Even though he's going up in weight, I like his height. He's fucking 6 foot tall. Holy shit! Don't know why he looks
tall
like
for 145.
Jesus
sir.
Christ, that's nuts. I've never heard of a featherweight that tall. Tallest after that is fucking Max Holloway at 5'11". Mm-hmm. God damn.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Because Pearson's what, 5'9", 5'10"?
Something like that.
So yeah, no, this guy's got the length, he's got the reach advantage, I'm sure. He looks like he's some really fucking long arms. I don't know what his style of fighting is, but yeah, you know what? I like the Hangman. Fuck it.
He's Australian, so I'm gonna go with Sprawl and Brawl. But
or Zealand, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
it's the same flag.
Yeah, that's what made it
For all the Australians and New Zealanders that were offended right now, I'm American, I'm ignorant, so that's to have it as well.
Also, what up, white people?
Yeah.
So Ross, the real deal. I like him in this fight. I think Pearson probably takes this by decision. I think this 100% is going to decision based off both these dudes' records. But I like Ross Pearson on size, not like height, obviously, but just like actual physical size.
Yeah, just fighting at that weight.
Also, Ross is underratedly elusive and has only been losing to pretty elite dudes. I don't think Dan Hooker is going to be the one to put him into the lower end of that division. So I think Ross probably takes it by decision, hopefully not split decision, which he has been known to do lately. Again, I think it'll be a fun competitive fight. I don't see it being a slobber knocker, though.
And then you get this next fight, the co-main event of the evening, which is Derek Brunson. I actually beat Anderson Silva. Versus Daniel Oldman beat Rashad Evans Kelly.
Yep.
You know what?
He did beat Shoeface.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah, it's super impressive. Jesus. Especially, but that was a very different Shoeface, I feel like.
This is the thing. Almost straight off the bat, I like Derek Brunson.
Yeah.
He's able to... I know Silva...
I do too.
He's not nearly... He's a shadow for himself, and he put
also
the ball on Brunson. And he's at Jack... Yeah, I like Brunson. Look who he's fought. Silva, sure, he's not as good as he used to be, but he also fought Bobby Knuckles.
Larkin.
He beat Uriah Hall. Like, damn,
Lorenz Larkin, Ed Herman, Sam Alvey.
Lorenz Larkin, who, by the way, dropped to 170, is fighting for the Bellator fucking welterweight championship against Douglas Lima in this fucking month. Yep. When is it? Is it like June 18th? It's already like in 10 days? Soon. Holy shit, we're going to have a fucking big episode for that.
There's a couple good Bellator fights.
That's a big fucking card. People aren't even paying attention.
Chael Fedor is right around the corner, too.
Yeah, dude. Mitrione. You mean Mitrione Fedor, Chael Vanderlei.
Right, I mean, same card,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I like Derek Brunson probably by KO.
Yeah.
TKO, something like that. Probably in the second. Actually, in the first. So if it goes to the second, Daniel Kelly might actually win. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't ever know what to do with Daniel Kelly. You know what? If you want a better opinion on this fight and a very
he
funny,
should be undefeated.
Yeah. Well, if you want a better opinion on this fight and a funnier one, I would go check out the MMA Vivisection from this week with Conor Rebush and Zane Simon, who previously they described. I think we even mentioned in this episode as one of Dan Kelly's fights as two guys fighting as if they were strapped to the ends of shopping carts that were bashing into each other.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that from someone else. That was fucking amazing.
It's real good. So I have a feeling their take on this fight's going to be really funny and worth checking out for sure. And then lastly, main event, Mark Hunt taking on the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Mark Hunt does have the haka on his side, but Derek Lewis... Crowd. Yeah, but Derek Lewis has the sexy dance he's going to do if he wins on his side. So it's really I feel like this is gonna be a weird fight. There's gonna be nothing but bungalows being thrown in this fight, right?
Yeah. Who do you like in this fight, or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna have you go first.
I like Mark Hunt based off his experience and his technique. He's more refined in his striking and abilities overall. Derek Lewis, I feel like, even though he's had a lot of experience against some pretty decent guys, is still a little too green for my taste. He's unproven. I know he's impressing with some of his sprawls, especially when he fought Travis Brown, but I just think Mark Hunt is too proficient in his kickboxing and his striking. And Derek Lewis is a tough son of a bitch. I think this will go decision. I know it sounds dumb when you say it'll go decision, but it will. I think
5 rounds?
Oh, but it is 5. Oh, it's 5 rounds? Oh, fuck, that's right.
Somebody will die.
No, it's not. No, someone's going to die.
One of them will die.
Yeah, sorry. I always forget that these fight nights are 5 rounds. Excuse me, guys, for my ignorance. But yeah, no, now I see Mark Hunt by TKO. He's just going to drop Derek Lewis, and it's going to be done. I say 3rd round. Lewis will gas.
It's funny that you thought it went to decision until you figured out it was a 5-rounder.
I know, I'm dumb.
What
you say, man? Because if it's 3 rounds, I can see going to decision. You don't need that.
I think Derek Lewis is going to get his sexy dance on in
shit.
New Zealand. I don't know why. I don't know if I have any real good reason to think he would ever beat Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's a better boxer. Mark Hunt has far more experience. Mark Hunt has better cardio, which is crazy to say.
That kind of pick.
But motherfucking Derek Lewis, I just can't pick against my favorite, what's arguably the funniest person in MMA. It's him and Angie Hill, and like maybe Ben Askren. But Ben Askren came.
Mike Perry's good in a dumb way.
Not in the same kind of good way. Like, they have the best social media accounts.
Rampage is always still solid.
True. I should say social media wise, at least, Derek Lewis and Angie Hill are the very top of the heap. And man, I'm a big Derek Lewis fan, and I just think he takes this just by a big bomb.
So what fight do you give him next? I'd say Ngannou. Fuck it. Ngannou's not even really proven
if Ngannou
doesn't fight JDS supposedly in August.
Yeah. Although Derek Lewis said he didn't want to fight for the belt next, he's like, I don't really care about the belt. No,
that's why he wants Ngannou.
Then someone told him you get paid more if you fight for the belt, and he's like, oh, well, then maybe I'll fight for the belt. Like, all right, Derek Lewis, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted from you. To
be fair, though, I want to see him fight someone else, like Ngannou first, because I feel like Stipe would murder him at this point in the stand-up. As far as it's just boxing and it's sprawling. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Honestly, Stipe murders a lot of guys not named Cain Velasquez at this point. Well, healthy Cain, C-level Cain, and healthy Cain.
Right. Yeah, healthy C-level Cain.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I just like Derek Lewis. I like him by TKO, probably first or second. I feel like
Mark Hunt's chin's gone.
Hunt, well, no, I just feel like Mark Hunt's going to turtle too much. And Derek Lewis is going to bang him with something like behind the ear, and he's going to go down, and Derek Lewis is going to throw like some fucking like belly punches at him. Not like throwing to the belly, like he's throwing from his belly, like old Fedor style. And just throw like some ugly ground and pound to get the win. And then he's going to fuck the ground and say something inappropriate. And do a weird
something about
sexy
Ronda
dance.
Ronda, I heard you're in New Zealand getting engaged this weekend, so just want to shout out.
He'll have something new. I have a feeling. Maybe I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm gonna fuck some kangaroos while I'm here. We're gonna hear some crazy shit from him. Because he was excited about seeing kangaroos, and I feel like that's going to come up in his post-fight speech when he realizes there's no kangaroos in New Zealand.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I do remember on Errol on MMA Hour 2 weeks ago, he did say he's excited to go to New Zealand because he loves Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
he loves the Hobbit.
What are the odds he shouts out?
He wants to see the Shire. That's what he said. He's like, I want to see the Shire.
That's probably what we'll hear after this. Like, yo, I'm about to go check out. I've been trying to find the Shire, but that's...
My homie Frodo or Bilbo. Yeah.
It's going to be good. So I'm excited for this fight. I'm not all that excited for this card. It's
Neither am I.
But the main event should be fun. A couple of these fights should be like fun, scrappy fights. But oh man, this is a old school fucking UFC overseas card if I ever saw one. So a bunch of homegrown talent. If you're into New Zealand fighters, good news, or Australian fighters, I got good news for you. But overall, yeah, that's about all I wanted to cover. And then next week, what the fuck fights are next week? Oh, fucking Holly Holm and Betch.
Singapore, the card we never asked for.
That card's gonna be real rough too, Chris. I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's worse than this.
It's worse than this. Well, you're right. Look at the main event. Look at the main event.
It is mean, but it's true.
Betch is fighting in the main event. That's all you need to say about it.
Oh no! See, your little booty dance, we're gonna lose.
I'm not excited about her Kevin Randleman jumps that she's gonna do at the beginning of the fight. So we will go ahead and wrap it there. You guys can find us thesoundofviolence.com, TSOV pod on Twitter. You can email the show, chris@thesoundofviolence.com. I'm at the Pulver on Twitter if you want me specifically, and Chris is always on our account one as well as I am.
Yeah, I'm at Chris Medaffer on Twitter if you want to bottom my ass. So
good luck spelling it. Also, shouts out to Roxanne Modafferi, who said she is enjoying my recaps of the terrible WMMA thread on the Underground that just talks about Cyborg the entire time and not actually WMMA fights. Started doing a weekly recap where I just describe what happens in the thread, and it just to outline how little they talk about fights versus Cyborg. And Roxy quoted it and was like, I love these recaps. She's like, these recaps are funny. I was like, all right.
To be fair, real quick, since we just shit on the home Korea card, 2 fights that are worth looking forward to. There is Tarek Seferdine versus Rafael Dos Anjos, his welterweight debut.
That's a good fight.
And to be fair, there's Jiang Stun Gum Hyun Kim, not Maestro who's fighting here, versus Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal's friend. So those are 2 fights that are decent. So and then Andre Arlovsky is fighting Marcin Tybura.
Okay, there's some good fights on that.
Yeah, and then
Colby the Delicious Cheese Covington
that guy,
as the
All-American wrestler who helps train Masvidal. Right. He's pretty much Masvidal's homie. On all the social media, I always see George Masvidal's always so he's probably a pretty cool guy too.
Yeah, as the Hammer MMA podcast always calls him, Colby the Delicious Cheese Covington.
That's pretty fucking great.
His name sounds like a cheese.
It does.
So we're gonna wrap it there, but feel free to hit us up. Let us know what shows we should be listening to. Let us know how we're annoying as fuck. We are working on getting on iTunes. I know I've been saying that for literally a year now. But we will, my goal is to have this all up, all of our episodes up by, hopefully by Memorial Day weekend. Nope, that's not the right weekend. What's the fucking weekend? Fight week?
International Fight Week. That's what
that one.
So it's July.
It's a holiday weekend. 4th of July weekend.
July 6th to the 8th.
Yeah, whatever that
So July 6th
is.
No, I lied. It's
something like that.
Either way, the tough finale is July 7th. That's Michael Johnson, Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
July 8th is UFC 213.
Yep.
Oh no, I guess 6 is something. Oh, maybe
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But regardless, so I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna try to at least get our RSS feed established by then and submit to everywhere so that hopefully we can shortly have our episodes available on pretty much everything. But feel free to hit us up. And I guess that's it for this week. Chris, anything else you want to bring up?
Nope.
All right. Well, then we should once more give a shout out to Stone White Hammer IPA. Is that what it's called? Ghost Hammer IPA.
It's white too. It's a ghost.
Real good beer. And
fucking
until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Peace.